Samsung has really outdone itself this year. I mean, who would have thought that amidst the upcoming launch of the Samsung S20 Ultra, we'd be knee-deep in content about the brand's first flagship killers. Yes, I am talking about the Galaxy S10 Lite and the Galaxy Note 10 Lite, and these are interesting devices to say the least. But be that as it may, these smartphones are encroaching on OnePlus's territory, so I thought it'd be fun to compare the three devices to see which one offers the most value for your money. Hey guys, I'm Prateek from Mr. Phone, and in this video we'll be comparing the Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite, the OnePlus 70 and the Galaxy Note 10 Lite to each other to see which one offers the most value for your money. But make sure to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have a ton of interesting content coming your way, so make sure that you don't miss any of that. Now, without any further ado, let's get this comparison on the road. Now, design is a subjective thing, and I'm sure that we guys will have different opinions on which phone we find the most good looking of the lot. Personally, when it comes to me, I love the design of the OnePlus 70, primarily because it has been constructed in entirety using glass, unlike the other two smartphones that we have here today. So it feels denser in the hand, and it also feels more premium in the hand, if that makes any sense. The frosted matte finish on the back of the smartphone is just a thing of beauty. Now, compared to the glass stick finishes on the Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite, you can clearly see that these two phones have a lot more smudges and fingerprints as compared to the 70. Now, I don't know about you, but I get triggered extremely quickly if I see a smudgy phone and I have to instantly wipe it. So for all intents and purposes, I like the design of the OnePlus 70 more than the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite. Be that as it may, as good as the design of the OnePlus 70 is, it's not as functional as the Note 10 Lite's design. For one, the Note 10 Lite is lighter than the OnePlus 70, and secondly, the glass stick body, which all the smudges really easily, also helps me to grip it very perfectly. Also, this is the only smartphone of the bunch which comes with a headphone jack, and surprise surprise, I like listening to high fidelity music, so I mean, this is obviously a clear winner for me here. Now that we have discussed which phone looks the best and which has the most functional design, let's talk about the design elements which make one of these phones stand out. And obviously here we have to talk about the S Pen on the Note 10 Lite. This is what makes the Note a Note. The ability to quickly jot down notes or sketch in your free time and share those doodles on Samsung's pen up community, which by the way has come a long way, and there are actually a lot of creative people there sharing their doodles all the time. So if you feel that you have a penchant for drawing things, and if you just like to sketch in your free time, then the Note 10 Lite makes the most obvious sense for you. Honestly, the Note 10 Lite's S Pen just opens up a whole new way of using the phone. You can use the stylus in a multitude of different ways, and Samsung has ensured that you actually want to use it should you opt for the device. I know for some it will just be a show-off thing, but I found myself using the phone to take notes and make lists during events. Also, if you get restless at work, you can fidget around with the button on the S Pen, which works wonders. Now, let's talk about the security features. And all the three phones that we are comparing today come with both a fingerprint sensor and a facial recognition. But here the clear winner is the OnePlus 70. Honestly, the Note 10 Lite's biometric authentication has been the slowest I've seen in a while, and while the S10 Lite is slightly better, it's still nowhere close to the 70. And when it comes to additional accessories, all the three smartphones we have here today come with a TPU case out of the box, but only the Note comes with bundled earphones. All phones also have three different colors from you to choose from, so there's that. When it comes to display, the 70 is the clear winner here as well. Now, all three phones come with AMOLED displays, have a tiny notch at the center, although the one on the Note 10 and the S10 Lite are marginally smaller, and have a display of Full HD Plus resolution. But the 70's display comes with a higher refresh rate of 90Hz, making it feel much more fluid than the other two phones. Now, if you want the biggest screen, then you can go for either the Note 10 Lite or the S10 Lite, as they both come with 6.7-inch screens, whereas the 70 offers only a 6.55-inch display. But trust me, you should trade in the extra screen real estate in favor of a faster display. Also, the display on the 70 is brighter, so if you're always out and about, you'll appreciate the screen's peak brightness more. All three devices also come with Widevine L1 certification and even let you stream shows from platforms like Netflix in HD. But the 70 goes a step ahead and offers HDR media playback. To sum up, the displays on all three devices are comparable, but the 70 edges out owing to faster refresh rate, higher brightness levels and HDR playback on Netflix. This one is a no-brainer too. The 70 is just the best performing phone of the lot. Now, just to recap the specs, the 70 is powered by Snapdragon 855 Plus processor, which is the fastest performing CPU of the three devices. The S10 Lite comes in second with its Snapdragon 855 CPU and the Note 10 Lite trailing behind the other two phones with its Exynos 9810 octa-core processor. Now, just to be clear, 90% of the time, all these three phones will perform the same, and I mean literally the same. Multitasking is equally good and snappy on all three devices, but when you push the smartphone to the limits, say when you're gaming, that's when you'll see the 70 outperform the Note 10 Lite easily. Although the S10 Lite managed to play catch up and offers the same graphics setting for most gaming titles, the higher refresh rate on the 70's display makes everything feel that much snappier. In gaming too, the Note 10 Lite could only run Call of Duty at high graphics with high frame rate, whereas the 70 as well as the S10 Lite could run it at a higher preset. Now, all three smartphones here today run Android 10, but they all come with their own custom skins. So in the case of the 70, you're looking at Oxygen OS, whereas with the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite, these two phones run Samsung's all-new One UI 2.0. Now, feature-wise, both the custom skins are neck and neck. While you will get more customization options with OnePlus's Oxygen OS, such as the ability to create custom accent colors and choose third-party icons, One UI 2.0 offers interesting features of its own, such as edge lighting and edge screen, which makes multitasking a whole lot easier. Plus, with the Note 10 Lite, you get additional features surrounding the S Pen, including the ability to quickly take down notes, show your creative side in the pen-up community, and use air actions with the stylus. Honestly, the software side of things eventually boils down to a user's preference. I personally like OnePlus's take on Android as it offers a near-stock experience with some nifty tweaks thrown in here and there. However, you could like One UI 2.0 more, and that's completely justifiable as it's a solid user interface too. As for the rest of the software features, all three phones come with support for voice over Wi-Fi calling, Google's Project Treble, and even offer Gcam support. Now, I know you guys are itching to find out which of these three phones has the best camera, so I won't waste any time here. The camera specs for all these three smartphones will be up on your screen now, so memorize them and let's get on with the camera samples. In daylight shots, the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite crushed the OnePlus 70. Now, as you can clearly tell by the camera samples I've attached, the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite have much superior dynamic range as compared to the 70. Case in point, this shot of the sun setting in the background wherein there's considerable lens flaring in the 70 shot. However, both Samsung phones managed to output a much better and more well-exposed composition. The colors on both the photos from Samsung phones looks realistic too, but I noticed that the Note 10 Lite's shot exhibited slightly muted colors. I also noticed that the 70 could not resolve the details in the shadows and at times clicked softer photos compared to the other two phones. Here's an example. In this shot, you can see the leaves on the trees are crisper on the Note 10 Lite and the S10 Lite, and you can even make out the definition in the leaves in the bottom, which are pretty much non-existent on the 70. The bad news doesn't end here for OnePlus. Take this close-up shot of a red flower I took, which in the case of the OnePlus 70 looks oversaturated. Also, there are no details to be seen in the petals. On the other hand, both the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite put forth a more presentable image. Between the two phones, I like the shot of the S10 Lite more as it exhibited better color science, but frankly, the difference isn't all that much. S10 Lite takes the lead when it comes to clicking portraits too. While the bokeh effect is more or less similar across the three smartphones, OnePlus's shot softens the skin tone quite a bit. Between the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite, you could honestly go either way, but as I mentioned previously, I personally prefer the color science of the S10 Lite's camera a bit more. Interestingly, the Note 10 Lite takes the lead in low light situations. With the night mode disabled, both the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite clicked similar looking photos with near identical sensor details. However, with the night mode enabled, the S10 Lite shot was noticeably brighter, which can be accredited to the 48 megapixel sensor's better exposure sensitivity. That said, the Note 10 Lite's low light shot looks more authentic, I mean, it's a low light shot after all, so it should look like one. OnePlus's one saving grace is its selfie camera, which clicked resoundingly detailed selfies during the day. The photos from the phone's front camera were eons ahead of what the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite would capture, be it in terms of details, color tones, or exposure. Rest assured, if you take a lot of selfies, then the 70 makes the most logical choice for you, followed by the S10 Lite and then the Note 10 Lite. If you live your life one vlog at a time, then you definitely prefer the S10 Lite's camera over the competition. Now, to be clear, the Note 10 Lite is just as good when it comes to recording videos. However, the S10 Lite ships with super steady OIS, which makes a world of a difference when you're shooting on the go. What's more, the audio output from the S10 Lite's footage was leagues ahead of the competition too, and it cancelled out background noise relatively better.
Okay guys, so finally we are shooting a 4K video on the OnePlus 70. So again, a 4K video on the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite. So do let me know in the comments below which one feels more steady to you, the footage, and if my voice is clearer to
When it comes to the quality of the footage, the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite's 4K and 1080p clips were noticeably crisper than the video shot through the 70. Also, the devices exposed the surroundings better too, which is evident when the camera panned as I shifted towards my left. Rest assured, the 70 just doesn't cut it amidst the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite when it comes to video recording. Okay, so we put up a story on our Instagram, Twitter and Telegram, the links for which will be down in the description below, asking all of you guys what are your burning questions about these three handsets, and we got a lot of good queries, so I'll just address those right now. So firstly, Hemant asked if these phones have an LED notification light. Well Hemant, none of these phones has an LED notification light, but they all come with an always on display, so that's a fair compromise, I'd say. Bharat asked which phone is the best for gaming. Well, both the S10 Lite and the 70 are great for gaming, but the 70 is obviously powered by the 855 Plus processor, which is slightly newer. So essentially you will see it perform better down the line in the years to come. Right now they both perform the same, but say 1 year down the line, 1.5 years down the line, my bet is that the OnePlus 70 would still be performing well, whereas the S10 Lite might not be. So Abhishek asked if the battery life on the S10 Lite is the main reason why we'd pick it over the 70. Well, yes and no. Firstly, the S10 Lite's battery life is absolutely insane. It has the best battery life out of these three phones, and I'm talking 9 hours of screen on time, guys. And I'm not a moderate user. I really use my phones. So 9 hours of screen on time on the S10 Lite is insane, but that's not the only reason. One more reason is that it has incredible rear cameras which click the best pictures of the lot. So if you want good rear cameras and you want insane battery life and good performance, the S10 Lite is a good choice. Now, Sarthik wants to know if the cameras on the Note 10 Lite and the S10 Lite are equivalent to their flagship counterparts or not. Honestly, they're not. Well, Irshad did a very good camera comparison between the Note 10 Lite and the Note 10 Plus, and in that video it's very evident that the Note 10 Plus has significantly better dynamic range than the Note 10 Lite. Now, I'm not going to say that these cameras are bad. In fact, for 40,000 rupees, they take incredible pictures, but at the same time, I just want you to know that, well, they are flagship killers for a reason and not flagships, right? Okay, he also wanted to know the charging times. So the S10 Lite takes about 1 hour and 20 minutes to reach full charge. The Note 10 Lite takes about 1 hour and 40 minutes to reach full charge, and the OnePlus 70 charges the fastest because, well, it comes with a 30-watt charger bundled with the box. So that takes about 1 hour, roughly 1 hour to charge fully. So Yashwant wants to know the real world performance difference between the 855 Plus, which is on the OnePlus 70 here, the 855, which is on the Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite, and the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Lite's Exynos 9810 processor. So guys, I'll be honest with you, I've been using all these three phones intensively, and when it comes to real world performance, when you're just opening apps, you're texting somebody on WhatsApp, and then you're exiting the app, and then maybe you're searching something on Chrome, or maybe opening maps, all these three phones are comparable, okay? Like, obviously you will see the Note 10 Lite open apps slightly slower than the other two phones, but the S10 Lite and the OnePlus 70 are neck and neck when it comes to real world usage. So again, the 9810 is a little slower, but that's mostly noticeable when you're pushing the phones to the limits, like playing PUBG or Call of Duty. Otherwise, pretty comparable real world performance. Serious Sam wants to know about the stereo speaker output. Well, serious Sam, only the OnePlus 7T comes with stereo speakers. The rest of the two phones have mono speakers, so there's that. Okay, so Vivek had a lot of questions. So one of them is about the performance, which I've already answered before. Now, I cannot comment on the water resistance bit. So he asked if the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite also come with the water resistance seal as the OnePlus 7T. Now, I cannot comment on that, but I did open the SIM trays and there is some sort of a seal there. But again, I've reached out to the brand for further clarification, so I will let you know as soon as I have any more information on this. He also wants to know if these phones, which of these phones supports video out for game streaming. So say you're using a capture card like we guys use, so you'll need your phone to support video out when it's connected to the USB Type-C to HDMI dongle. So essentially only the OnePlus 7T supports that. The Note 10 Lite and the S10 Lite do not support video out for game streaming. So if you are hardcore, if you want to grow your YouTube gaming channel or something of the sorts, then the OnePlus 7T makes the most logical choice, as it has the best processor for gaming and it also supports video out for streamers. So guys, these are all the burning questions that we got on our Instagram, Telegram and Twitter. So I highly recommend that you join all of these communities, because there are a lot of budding tech enthusiasts like you guys watching this video who are constantly talking about tech in these groups, which is just absolute fun. So yeah, the links for all of these social media handles will be down in the description below, so make sure you're part of our growing community. Now without any further ado, let's talk about which phone is the best for your money. So where does that leave us? Well, let me break it down for you phone by phone. So you should buy the OnePlus 7T if you want uncompromised performance, a clean software experience and fast wired charging. The fastest wired charging of the lot actually. Now, compared to the Note 10 Lite, you'll see a clear performance bump, but when you compare it to the S10 Lite, the performance bump would not be as noticeable, but it's still there. Also, how can we forget the excellent selfie camera and the 90Hz display on the OnePlus 7T, which just makes everything seem all that more responsive. Also, this is the only phone of the lot which comes with stereo speakers, so if you watch a lot of movies, then maybe you want to invest in this phone. Now, the Note 10 Lite makes sense for people who just cannot do without a stylus or a headphone jack. Now, is this phone the fastest of the lot? Definitely not. In fact, when compared to the OnePlus 7T and the S10 Lite, I did notice that during my usage, app load times were slightly higher on the Note 10 Lite. But it helps that the smartphone has a stylus. It has a very unique USP in this price segment, and no other phone is going to offer you that. And also, it has good rear cameras. It has very capable rear cameras. Now, the battery life isn't all that great, but on the whole, as a complete package, I can see people using this phone easily for a year and a half before finally having to upgrade to another device. So the S10 Lite is by far the best Samsung smartphone I've used in a very long time, and that's purely because of the Snapdragon 855 SoC powering the smartphone. The device is just rapid when it comes to performing any task. It has excellent rear cameras and it has the best battery life of the bunch. So buy this phone if you want good performance, excellent cameras and phenomenal battery life. So guys, this concludes our in-depth comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite, the Note 10 Lite and the OnePlus 7T. Do let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give us a big thumbs up. Until next time, this is Prateek from Mr. Phone signing off.